Today I just want to kind of look at a couple of design features and compare the Winchester to the Marlin, the lever action, and why the Winchester has that clunk and why the Marlin does not. They were both, there's a reason for them, and they're both trying to solve a problem, and they both just did it in different ways. Let's take a deep dive into the action of that Marlin and compare it to the Winchester 94. This is a more modern, this is like the last of the good Winchester 94s, but the action is just like, the original Winchester 94, the old 1894. And if you look at the action, it looks a lot like that Winchester 92. Well, the Winchester 92 was made to cycle handgun ammo. Something like this 44, a very short round. So it just took a little lever throw, open up the action, chamber round, whatever. But when we wanted to chamber something longer like this 30-30 or 30 Winchester centerfire, when this action opens up, what it did, like it looks like all the guts fell out of it, but what it's doing, it's lowering the pivot point for this lever. So the first thing, we lower the pivot point for that lever. Now that lever is going to have a longer throw, move all the way back, and then we can chamber that longer cartridge. So that's why you have that. That's why you have that clunk. You open it up, and then that bolt moves back, and we have that big long throw to accommodate the length of the 30-30. So Browning, he had to drop that. Like I said, he had to drop that pivot point down so you can have a longer action than what the Winchester 92 had. Well, the Marlin, accomplished the same thing. But if you look at, he added this little distance. He dropped the pivot point for this lever below the receiver. You see that little kind of pyramid shape or that V shape? There's your pivot point for the lever. So now it doesn't have to open, doesn't have to clunk, doesn't have to drop out. It just pivots on that rotation so I can accommodate that big long 30-30 round. That's why you have that nice smooth action. Now it's not as sleek, you have this big lump here, but that big lump allowed it to have that smooth action. Both Marlin and Winchester accomplished the same thing, accommodated that longer round, just Marlin found a little smoother way of doing it. Maybe even a better solution. People always go, oh, I love the Winchester, I love the look, I love the feel, I just don't like that clunk. That Marlin is so smooth, and it really is. Also, you have that top, the top of the receiver is solid where you can mount a scope there. And yes, that Winchester 94 does have the angle eject, I can mount a scope on there. But the older ones had that open top that couldn't do it. So you can argue Marlin had the better solution than the great John Browning. Can't win them all.